awesome.
My heel, thank you.
Actually, most people.
In my head, I was like, crap!
If you have any seriously awesome.
Being the first speaker, it can be nerve-wracking, but also liberating.
Wow, I'm just so excited. Didn't intend to get that vulnerable.
I had a stutter coach.
It's like, oh, I did it. I got through it. Even though it scares the bejeebus out of you.
I feel amazing.
When I got on stage, I just, like a sheet came over my face.
Everybody has been so kind. It's literally been like a big family reunion.
Hold the bell.
Because I need inspiration, like I put in God. And I'll just watch 5 of them.
I'm really excited for lunch.
Culture eats strategy for breakfast.
I love that.
That's
I love
number
that.
4.
It was good. You did a really good job. I'm glad she doesn't have to repeat it.
It's over. Were the ones that I was really interested in afterwards. Like, oh my God, that blew my mind.
There's a dinner? Oh, I'm telling you, this is the best gig ever.
Like I did it. I actually did it.
I almost choked up in that. I wasn't expecting it.
And just telling his story, it really struck me. I don't know how I kept it together.
It was amazing. The energy was very high, and obviously it's my first TED Talk, and everybody has been truly amazing. But just being in here in this energy and in the spirit of being limitless, which I'm all about, is because now I'm really looking forward to listen to the rest of the talks today. For 35 speakers, that's amazing. TEDx Wilmington made it possible for me, so I'm extremely grateful and humbled being in here and meeting Ajit, meeting all of you guys, and just meeting some amazing souls who are also on this mission and on their own calling in their own way to make the world a better place. And this is what TEDx represents for me. It's that inspiration, that hope that we can come together collectively and resolve global problems.
I felt like I gave the message that I wanted to give to mothers of teenage daughters around the world, and wow, I'm just so excited. And I could see the moms kind of going, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yep, I agree with, keep going, preach it. The big thing is staying connected to her, and it's not about our agenda. It's really about helping love your child into her brilliance.
So this is a chance for a speaker to hone a message and have that message propagated very, very widely. So essentially it's a platform that enables somebody to get the word out to a much broader audience that otherwise they would be able to do on their own. I think to me that's kind of the essence of what this is about. I met some of the speakers, and they're fascinating people. I mean, clearly it's a very carefully selected group of people that have something interesting to say. And so the people that have interesting to say usually have interesting backgrounds, and some of them have ideas that one either hasn't thought about or maybe thinking about but have never seen a real person who can explain it better. So yes, I think there's a tremendous value in general in being together with interesting people.
What makes it different than anything else that I've done before is a sense that it is going to live on in posterity in this form. So, so that raises the stakes. It makes it like a high pressure situation. And it's only 8 to 10 minutes. I feel like I made a heartfelt plea for something right now that we need. Yeah, I felt like the audience was very open and very with me and very appreciative. And then as the story unfolded, I felt people's emotions started to mirror my own. And that was comforting, because I didn't intend to get that vulnerable. Stay true to speaking about something that you are emotionally connected to, that you care a lot about. When you get to that moment on stage, trust that your preparation, your passion, and all of your unseen, invisible support will be right up there with you.
I expected there to be like really kind people, and I expected more of the administrators to be enjoyable but firm in that sense. And it was like, it could not have been farther from the truth. Like, everybody has been so kind. It's literally been like a big family reunion. It is just an enormous positive vibe. Like, wherever you walk, everybody's smiling, everybody's anticipating the next talk or anticipating talking to the next person. And just like I mentioned on the family thing, it's a good feeling. Relax. relax, and trust that anybody here is on your side.
Yeah, the energy is just amazing. Being at this historic theater means it's a very intimate space, and everyone's up close to you, and so you can just feel people leaning in around this message and stories. And I think probably a lot of people weren't aware of the challenges that we're trying to solve. And I think seeing them engage with that and think about it is exactly what we're looking to do. And I'm excited to go meet everyone and kind of talk about, you know, the implications of that. We had a pre-speech or a pre-event dinner last night, and it was just unbelievable, the number of the ideas that were in this group of speakers, their backgrounds. What a humbling opportunity for me to be here and just to hear from all these different ideas. It's amazing.
This was a fantastic experience. It was really amazing just to be on stage. I got to give a presentation about Einstein, and I also got to give a mini musical meditation, and everyone was great. I really had a great time. I felt people were getting into the musical meditation, and I felt a good response to it. Don't be afraid of the process. They have everything carefully prepared and guide you along the way. And everyone's very supportive, even to the last minute before you get on stage.
This has been such a crazy experience, so crazy. Today, it has been overwhelming. Your adrenaline and your nerves, and you just want to make sure you remember. And I had just remembered everything. So, great experience, great experience. I've met some great people. I have an adopted brother now, and I have some friends that I can go and visit. It's just been amazing. It was just great. I met people from London. I met people from Utah, Colorado. People tried to convince me to relocate. It's just really been awesome here. And my mom said, I'll cheer you on and I'll be your mom. So we said when he talks, we'll be like his family. So now he's our adopted brother.
It feels really amazing. It's like the slogan that Olive Garden use once you hear your family, and that's what I get from the time I arrived to Delaware itself, and definitely to the Queen's Theater, that I was coming back home to my environment. It's definitely worth it because there's endless possibilities, and these people have stories that can enhance anyone. It can either be entrepreneurship, or it can be any thought area. You can find a talk that will match what you're interested in or inspire you to go on.
I guess I channeled my inner actor, because even when I was telling my stories, internally I felt emotional. I was like, okay, that's where this is a new side of me. But I tried to deliver my message to the audience, whether they're live or out there streaming 20 years from now. So I was trying to make that connection with them. Go with something you're passionate about. It makes it much easier. As long as you're passionate about it, it comes from in here, and you can't beat that. Like I said, challenges are inevitable. You will encounter challenges, and sometimes you're not making money or not seeing the results you want, but the fact that you love what you're doing, it really keeps you going. That's the fuel. That's the fuel.
The audience was great because as Jean always says to me, let it go, be loose. Now, I am a protocol officer, so every move I make is sort of well thought out. So I decided the only way that I could loosen up was to put in some lines, kind of funny lines, but not try to be funny, and the audience really responded, and that kept me going. My words of wisdom would be that it's hard work. I was flattered when I was asked, and I believe that you should never turn an opportunity down. And so I said, yes, I'm going to do it, but once I got into it, I had no idea it was going to be practice.
I tell you, I have given well more than 100 talks throughout my career, and it's always been really interesting in terms of getting prepared for them and different levels of connection with the audience and all those kinds of pieces. This is the hardest talk I've ever done. The cool thing I think about this audience is they're here to learn. They're really excited about learning different things from different people, and you feel that real level of interest. They're staring at you. They're engaged with what you're saying. Forestry is notorious for not being very good at communication, and it's not always easy for us to do these kinds of things. And so to be able to come to TED and see that the audience was receptive was a dream come true.
I feel so grateful, honestly. Grateful to have an opportunity to share something that means so much to me. And my only goal today was to connect with people that were there and hopefully hopefully have a moment that can make our lives better. And I think that it was a great audience in terms of their hearts were open, and the topic that I'm sharing is maybe unfamiliar to a lot of people, and all I felt from people was love, you know? And I think that will, yeah, it was just a gift.
Every nerve in my body is like this. I was so nervous through the entire process of writing the talk, sending the team the videos, and it was exhilarating. I feel right now a tremendous sense of relief that I got through it and I didn't fall off the stage. I remembered everything. But this is a precious space, TEDx. And just because you have a good idea doesn't mean it's a TEDx idea. That you should dig deep and find that unique voice you have before you even attempt the daunting process of doing this, because this is a not easy process to get through. For the people I've coached before and got through, and for myself, it's years in the making.
It was fantastic, you know, it was a great experience. I felt like the whole process from starting to do research last June and July to this point was really fulfilling to see it from start to completion, especially when you're working on something this long that you put your heart and soul into and practice countless hours to put it together. And plus you're not only, you know, doing this myself, but you're with everyone else, you're rooting all the other speakers on, especially since you saw them from rehearsal to today. And you see all the people behind the stage and all the people involved here, because, you know, as someone who's a speaker, you don't know all the rest of the people. So to see all this come together with all of these people, it's kind of a special moment that you rarely have in your lifetime period. I think being in an environment like this with all these people and all of this energy is just fantastic. I mean, you just feed off it and you feel like great things are ahead.
It was really exciting. I must admit, I wasn't really nervous ahead of time, but you know, the minute you walk on stage, you kind of have a little butterfly and so on. But as soon as you start talking, you just grab all the energy of the audience and just feeds the talk. I do. It feels like, so the audience is radiating energy towards me and I'm trying to basically reflect it back. I feel like I'm just basically just reconnecting their energy back to them. And it's less about just me being just a conduit, about their excitement and trying to basically get their minds stimulated. I had a stutter coach. The whole process of, you know, rehearsing, sending in videos, doing things like in a very strategic manner, sending in outlines, I think was very organized. It helps you really just prepare so that by the time you come, you know, to game day, you know, you just are suited up, ready to go and ready to hit those helmets, so.
I'm elated. I can't stop smiling. And I have like goosebumps and chills because it's like everything that's been leading up to this after so many months, it's like, oh, I did it. I got through it. Yeah, so, oh my gosh. Really looking at the people in the room and really connecting, it helps you to see the head nods and the smiles and the, you know, the face that's kind of like questioning. And so it helps you to connect. I love connecting and I've made some great new friends and we've exchanged contact information and I want to stay the rest of the day. I've met some new people today because they're guests, and so yeah, it's just the whole thing does amazing things for you as a person and also for the connections and the contacts and hopefully lifelong friendships that we make.
I feel relieved but also energized and ready to keep putting ideas out there and keep going, because this is my first sort of TEDx experience and hopefully it won't be my last. And then you're starting to climb a big mountain and you just feel that rush of endorphins come. It's like the same feeling I'm getting right now. I guess some people might call it a runner's high, but I'm not really a runner. But so I just feel like, you know, like everything's just firing all cylinders right now. I would say don't take yourself too seriously, and also memorize your talk, but be flexible the day of. So I went off script a little bit and it felt fine. Some places I stumbled once or twice, but you just gotta get over it and do your best.
Play whatever you want and don't let your instrument limit you. Like if you have an instrument that you don't think you can play this kind of music on, or you don't think you can make this kind of sound, like just go for it. Just play what you like to play.
Yeah,
just enjoy it.
Don't let people tell you that you have to choose a style, because personally I think it's best
You can have a trademark style, but like it's best to explore all different types of things.
Relieved, which is probably what everybody says. It's been an amazing experience because I'm used to speaking for a day, and so when I was given 10 minutes I went, oh, how am I going to do that? Number one, it takes you out of your comfort zone. I think because it's so prestigious, it's something I've been watching for years, never thought that was achievable for me. So I think number one, it takes you out of your comfort zone, and that's a good thing. At this point I have met some amazing people, which I would say I would like to associate with more. Especially when they're in the same field as me or interested in what we're doing, and we can collaborate to get the word out. So that's probably what I'm really looking forward to.
I do a lot of speaking, but I'm somebody that typically just wings it. And when you have 15 minutes and it's a TEDx talk, you're not winging it. So I practiced a lot, and then was able to get myself into a good space today to go out and really just share my passion. I think one of the keys to speaking is finding people in the audience to connect to. And it felt like people were really, really attentive, and that there was an energy going back and forth. So, it's been amazing to be here and be a part of all these incredibly passionate people, and you meet all of them and you find them out in the audience and stare them down for a little bit during your talk. It really makes a difference.
It was so amazing, like to get a standing ovation. I never in my wildest dream would have imagined. It's another thing I can cross off my bucket list, because I always wondered what the journey would be like and the experience. I just love the TEDx atmosphere. It's so inspiring. Every speaker here has a story, and these are just amazing people. Everybody wants to make this world a better place. And I really commend Ajit for bringing all of us together and giving us an opportunity at TEDx Wilmington. I'm forever in debt. I would say enjoy the journey. I was so nervous. I have been on numerous stages in my 30 years as a fashion designer. I've been on Entertainment Tonight, on CNN. You name it, I have been on everything. But TEDx experience is very special, because within very few short moments, you have to get your message out there and leave the audience with something that they can take home and implement.
And it was, I went into it preparing so much, and then when I got on stage, I just, like a sheet came over my face, and it took me a second to really gather myself, but once I got it, I did pretty good. I practiced so much.
Yeah.
And you had to get videos way back in June, just your first draft and your second draft. I felt it, and I saw it a little bit with a few head nods and one hand in the air, one like this, but yeah, I felt it. Just be different, just go out and outside of your comfort zone, because you'll end up having amazing opportunities like I did just by stepping outside of your comfort zone and doing something. You can do more than you think you can.
It was fantastic. The audience was extremely responsive, and thankfully they clapped in the middle of my talk, which was thrilling and gave me quite the boost at the end. So it was a very welcoming group, and I'm thrilled to be done. But it was the exact opportunity I wanted it to be. So I'm thrilled with it. They seemed to be eyes on me exactly, and they were fully engaged, and that was exciting for me, which helped me to do much better, because you have that engagement. You're passionate about sharing your idea with people, and so when people want to hear it, that obviously makes you even more excited to share it. Well, certainly speaking about something that you're passionate about is huge. For my preparation, I filmed myself and then edited it like I would do normally. But in that process, I also refined my talk over and over, because I started to see things that I didn't think were as clear. So that was actually very useful to me to go through that process and do that.
I've spoken to audiences as large as 2,000. I was more nervous this morning than I was then. This presentation for this audience, I would say, was more descriptive of me personally than the presentations that I give for business audience, which is typically who I speak to. So there's a certain sense of vulnerability of putting yourself out there in a way that I don't get to do kind of in my professional life, that I'm planning on doing more because of this experience. TEDx audiences, I think, are very discerning. I think that they are thought leaders. I think that they are going to separate the wheat from the chaff, so to speak. They're gonna pick out what they think is really good very quickly. I think that the fact that it is recorded for TED and has the potential to be on TED's website, I think that's also kind of a nerve-wracking thing. I think it's also that you kind of get one shot. When you're looking out at the audience, they are clearly connected, clearly engaged, clearly listening. It's a really attentive and what I would describe as an attuned audience, and very appreciative, very appreciative. I don't know how other TEDx's run. My experience here with Ajit and with the team, first of all, I think you guys are phenomenal, tremendously professional the entire way through. My understanding of other TEDx's is they are not as structured. And I think the structure here really enables exceptional performance.
You did a really good job. I'm glad you didn't take out a lot of parts. I'm glad she doesn't have to repeat it.
It's over now. My biggest takeaway from doing my talk today is as much as I enjoyed doing the talk, I watched so many speakers today that left me crying, jumping to my feet, and I had to run backstage and introduce myself. Ajit and his tribe and his team, they brought in this amazing coach yesterday to give us feedback, and it was really critical to have A, someone cheering you on, and B, some really great advice. And I can't thank the team here enough. All you need to do is have what that hostage negotiator Jim Kavanaugh, my mentor, has, which is kindness. And I see that happening here in Wilmington, Delaware. So I was thrilled to be here and have little Angus here, my best buddy on earth, come play with me here. And I love it. I love Wilmington.
It was great. I mean, I really feel like I was energized, and it was just great to be up there. You know, there's so much anticipation leading up to it, and just to be out there, I thought everything went smoothly, and yeah, I was really happy with it. It was a great audience. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to actually talk to all these wonderful speakers, because we're so in our heads getting ready for our own speeches that we don't have time to really connect. So I think that's what I'm really looking forward to. Some amazing people here. You know, their talks were so incredible that I'm really looking forward to just getting to know everybody, and we're in such good company. I'm like really honored to be here. Once you have, like, really find your idea worth spreading. Like, you have to start with what you're passionate about, your unique, whatever really lights you up and makes you passionate. You have to start from that.
I was so nervous. There was a couple of different aspects of my talk that had volunteers involved and for things to work, and the experience in the venue and the experience with the people was absolutely amazing and so supportive. Oh, absolutely. I could absolutely see people's heads bobbing in the audience. I could connect with them because the lights were the way they were. I was able to see people, and because of a lot of the speakers were on the ground floor and seeing them yesterday, I knew there were people rooting for me. So it was like being amongst friends. I have been so excited about meeting the other speakers, and what I found is before I came here, I looked at the list of speakers and like, oh, I'm interested in that, and I'm interested in that, oh, and I'm somewhat interested in that, but I'm finding the ones that I prejudged not to be interested in were the ones that I was really interested in afterwards. Like, oh my God, that blew my mind. The future advice I would give to future TEDx speakers would be, the more you can bring your message down to the bare salient points and practice as much as you can out loud and in front of people.
I mean, immediate reflection, and you can't help but look back and try to remember exactly how it went, and all the rehearsal that you do ahead of time, and all the content and all the research. And so just thinking about, okay, well, I had my moment there. How did it go? Because you're up there and you're looking at the audience and you can kind of gauge, but you're trying to juggle all these things in your head at once, that it's hard to have moments of introspection. And so it's, I'm already eager to see the video. Breathe. No, they say again and again, have fun up there. And that's true, You should have fun up there. What is important for me to recommend really is, you see sort of the finished product where people have fun, but there's, as early as possible, to master sort of, like, if you're a lawyer, we call it the black letter, to think about everything that you're going to say so that you can master all your content, so then you don't have to worry about what you're actually going to say when you're up there. And then that gives you a lot more breathing room to have fun with what you're saying sort of on the spot. And so there's a long lead time. I remember the first email I got from Ajay, I was like, why? This thing's not for like months. And it makes sense, you know, it really gets you thinking about it ahead of time.
It was like I imagined. It was powerful, but it felt like a release because I had this idea bubbling up in me for years. And to finally share it felt like a release. It felt great. And I just can't believe it's over. Like I did it. I actually did it. And I'm hoping that it is received in the world in the way that I intended. That's my hope. I could see the nods and I could see some familiar faces in the audience. And I could also see some individuals that I didn't know that it was resonating with them. And that was great because it was confirmation that I was saying something that they needed to hear, you know. It was just exhilarating, you know. I'm glad it's over, but I'm glad I did it.
I almost choked up in that. I wasn't expecting it.
Emotions bring up, right?
Yeah. And I think that Jitty's a powerful, stubborn man. And he pulled me out of my cave. And I think between Fiona and Jit, it's apparent it's running deep. And I want to do something with it. I really do. I'm not sure what, but I'm open to the universe to do something with the experience. I think it was the affirmation and the safety. I've been out of it. I haven't really moved into a trusting place since I've been back since the shooting. More mistrusting back then than I am today after 4 years, but I'm not over it. And I think that this was a big drawing out of me in this community right here, like yourself. I don't think that this is BS. I think that you're real people and you have a purpose, and it's impacted me. Like I can trust some people, and it hasn't been that easy.
It was, I think, an out-of-body experience. It was so strange because we did rehearsal yesterday, and I felt very sort of in the moment at the time and sort of together. And I was less nervous going on the stage today, which surprises me. But then when I started, it was almost like I was on automatic pilot. It's like, it was just a weird experience. And now that I'm thinking about it, I hope I covered all of my points. I think I did, but I'm gonna have to go back and look at it to make sure. And I felt that, yeah, people were nodding their heads as though, okay, yeah, I get this. This might actually work. And then I think when we actually showed the sample video, people were like, wow, yeah, that's cool. The one piece of advice I would have is love your topic, because you are going to be living with it 24/7 for the next 2 months at least, and you're gonna sweat it in every possible way. In terms of really understanding how to explain it, and then preparing your speech and doing the performance. I mean, it is an intense experience.
For me, I mean, the whole work that we did, just being in the refugee camps, was just so intense. And one of the main messages that we got from people is, can you just let people know what's going on here? You know, the receipt of the photos was really a big thing for them. I think people were very, very happy. And so that whole intensity and emotion, and then to bring it up to the stage, it all came back. And just telling his story, it really struck me. I don't know how I kept it together, but be able to bring that here and tell a greater audience, I think is just wonderful. Great to have that opportunity.
Our simple goal really is to try to raise awareness of the refugee situation, and I think that's one of the things that helps, I think, keep us energized and motivated, because actually being here at TEDx, one of the things that helps us is, this story is not about us. It's not us trying to say, oh, look how clever we are because we did something, or invented something. We're trying to raise awareness and tell a story about other people who really, really need help. Raise awareness and be able to, just spread that message to as many people as we can in a venue like TEDx is really fantastic.